Texas Hold'em is the Cadillac of poker games. It's fun, it can be rewarding, it includes everything in it, from psychology to strategy, gambling, and it can drain you out if you're not careful. In this video, we take a look at 9 mistakes to avoid when playing Texas Hold'em, so you'll play longer, have more fun, and fill your pockets with cash instead of giving it away to your opponents. Let's begin. Playing too many hands pre-flop. Texas Hold'em is a game of patience. Sure, you can play a lot of hands, but it will only get you home sooner than you realize and with no money left. It can be frustrating when cards aren't coming your way, when you're catching bad whole cards, but you're here to make money, not gamble it away. To win in the long run, you have to remember to stay disciplined and stick to proper starting hand ranges, even when you've been getting dealt trash hands all night long. Playing too many hands pre-flop is guaranteed to land you in tricky post-flop situations with weak holdings, often leading to substantial losses that could have been easily avoided by simply giving your cards back to the dealer like you were supposed to. Overplaying speculative and medium-strength hands. The value of your hand is always relative to your position on the table and your opponent's. However, some cards are just not very strong by definition, like small flushes facing a big raise on the river, second pairs, top pairs with weak kickers, etc. New players usually tend to value these hands way too much, and thus play them almost if they had the nuts. When you're overplaying these hands, you effectively turn them into bluffs. Thank you for choosing to watch our video. If you enjoyed so far, please like it and subscribe to support our channel. We truly appreciate it. Also, visit our site casinoglow.com to claim great bonuses, take advantage of our promotions, check the best and hottest casino games today. Now, let's continue. This may work for you at times, but in the long run, your opponents will have the better hand and it will be hard to bluff them with such hands. Since these medium strength hands have a decent showdown value themselves, you don't need to take aggressive lines with them and should play them for what they're worth. Acting too quickly without thinking things through. This is a problem every poker player faces at least once in a while. Many times, players who spend a lot of time playing the game will often go on autopilot and make decisions without taking enough time to think. This, of course, can lead to costly mistakes and harsh defeats. What you should do is train yourself to never ever act immediately when it's your turn. Always take at least a few seconds to think about all available information. Take into consideration your opponent's action, position, sizing, and even verbal tales. That way, you can gather your thoughts and prevent yourself from making a mistake like calling where you should be raising or folding in a spot where pot odds are way too good, just because you had such an instinct. And all it took you is a moment, a few seconds to think things through. Not picking the right table games. If you want to earn money playing poker, you have to be serious about it and your approach to the game. This means that you must look for the best games and best situations to make a profit. Yes, it can be annoying at times waiting for the right table to be available, but you're here to make money, not simply play cards. Treat it as if it's your job. You're here to make money, not lose it. Sitting down in any game just to put in some hands is reckless and can also be quite costly in the long run. Not thinking about hand ranges of your opponents. When you play Hold'em, there are two things you have to take into consideration: your hand and the hand of your opponents. Focusing just on your own hand is not enough, because to be a great player, you have to know or assume you know your opponent's hand as well. It can be difficult, but you learn it as you play more with the same players, study them, and even from past mistakes. Don't try to put a player on a single hand, but rather try to assign them a range of hands they're likely to play with according to their position at the table. This will take some time and experience, but trust me, in the long run, you'll make a lot of money by knowing which hands your opponents are more likely to hold and play with. This is how you read your opponents. Getting too emotional during the game. You can't always win at poker, and you won't. Bad beats, lucky hits, busted and caught bluffs. All these and more are part of the game, and that's natural. Again, Remember that we're aiming for the long run here. With that said, stay cool and calculated. Don't allow for your emotions to take hold and start influencing your decisions at the table. When this happens, you're entering the tilt zone, and this is where you should take a break, gather your thoughts, breathing, and get your focus on the game back. Here's a pro tip to remember. Every time you find yourself doing things at the table that you rationally know you shouldn't be doing, it's time to take a break from the session before you lose more or even all. Relax, get your focus back, and then join back to the game. Failing to adjust to other players. You should have a solid game plan when joining a table, but should also be prepared to adapt your plan when a specific situation arises. Your opponents won't always play or make decisions according to your rationale or what you expect of them. For example, if a maniac sits down at your table, you can't continue stealing a bunch of pots before the flop, and so you have to adjust your game according to the opponents at your table. If someone isn't folding out of the big blind, attack them with stronger hands and make bigger raises. Don't make small raises with weak hands because they're completely useless against this type of player. There are many ways you can adjust your game during play according to the different players and action at the table. Be open to these changes during the play and remember that each player plays differently. That poker is not exact science, but knowing to adjust your strategy and gameplay as you progress will benefit you and your bankroll. Poor bankroll management. This is actually basic but extremely important. Always stick to a fairly strict bankroll management plan, as this prevents you from losing all your money or having to go down the limits too fast when you encounter a bad run of cards or simply have a bad game day. Without proper bankroll, you can't play, and when you don't play, you don't make money. The thumb rule is this: always play with the amount of money you are willing to lose, and life continues as is. This will also allow you to play freely, stress-free, which in turn will lead to better decisions and wins during the game. Never stop learning. You can always become better at the game. Always. Ask any poker pro, the best of the best. They never stop learning. They learn their opponents, they learn from mistakes, they analyze their play as well as the play of other players. There is always what to learn. Read books, watch poker videos, take courses, and learn from your own games and mistakes. The more you learn and implement, the better you'll become and the bigger your bank account will get. Thank you for watching. Reminding you to like our video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to support our channel. We truly appreciate it. Don't forget to visit our site and claim your bonuses, check our promotions, and start playing the hottest casino games today. Have a great and winning day.